Let's go, Andre. All right. Let's
Hold
see.
on.
Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us right here on the Village Radio Talk Show. I am Roderick Daly, your host, and I am very excited to be with you this week. I wasn't able to hang out with you guys last week, but I was able to hang out with you. I'm not able to hang out with you this week, so you know, I'm expecting a lot of individuals to come out and have some conversations. That we have, some good news, some bad news, and some in between news um, about what's going on in today's world. Um, hey, Andre, welcome. What's going on?
What's up? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of the Village.
All
How we
right,
doing?
that's how you doing. That's how excited you are. Another week at the village. Welcome everybody to another week at the village. You know,
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
let's
Let's,
get it on. Let's get it on.
you
Um,
know, it's
you know,
it's it's, it's interesting. Before you go, like, I just started teaching. I had a student that would walk down the hallway and call my name, Mr. Dome, and I go back and forth. That same kid one time was saying, let's get it in the class. And I
mhm,
start saying it. And then now there are times, and you talk with kids, and sometimes you kind of make the mistake of rhyming or doing some poetic stuff. So I would say
mhm.
bars. It eventually became my call and response. So when I say let's
Okay.
get it, even now, the kids be like bars. So a new
Okay.
person who comes in don't even know what's going on. They just hear the class in unison, bars, and it's like, oh,
Bars.
okay.
I,
So
I got
yeah,
that. Does the bar still? So it still works. You're saying the bars still work?
yeah. I haven't used it as much since the year start, but once I say
Okay.
it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Then they just say bars, and I'm like,
Okay.
all right.
I see that we have some guests lined up. I see Congresswoman Vic Clark. Is that something
Oh,
that?
that was just like
Oh,
set
okay.
to
Okay.
reach
I
out.
did speak to her this week, so I'm pretty sure she's interested in being on. So you can reach out to her office and
Mm.
find out what's going on about that as well. All right. So I want to start about what's going on. There are a lot of things going on in our society. Hey, Empress, nice seeing you. Hello, all of our villagers out there. Please do post your comments, subscribe to our station, making sure um, that we hit all of our markings. Thank you, Empress. You know. let me know that we're looking good, and stuff like that. We try to reach our marks. So there's so many things going on. I don't
Nah,
know
she's
where to start.
complimenting you, man. She's saying
Huh?
you look good. She's saying you look
Oh,
good. Not
me? I thought she was talking about
you.
you because because you look good. I know
No,
she has a
no.
big birthday coming up on Monday, so she's also excited about her birthday as well. So Empress Danielle, awesome, 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 awesome! Happy early birthday! When it comes on what Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it is. Good evening, Miss Grant. How are you doing? When is your birthday, Miss Grant? When is your birthday? Carla, when is your birthday? Right. So everybody want to give a when their birthday is. I know your birthday might not be coming up, but I think we all need to be celebrated and we need to celebrate ourselves, right? So, what are some of the things that I don't have a lot of? Well, I'm going to try to incorporate good news throughout the show, but I don't have all good news about everything that's happening. But I'm going to start with me and giving an update. I know that some of you, if not all of you, have read my Facebook page and my post. Sometimes it gets a little scary. So before I do anything else, um, right, I want and I'm gonna do it again. And as the show go by, I want to big up the staff here at Sloan Catering, all of my doctors, all of my nurses, all of my PCTs who have been tremendously helpful in helping me to come along. Not calling anybody by name because there's so many individuals who have done great things, helping me through this time of difficulty with my newly diagnosed newly diagnosed leukemia, acute leukemia, ALL and AML. They've been doing some work, right? They've been doing some work, helping me out, help trying to do things. Last week I heard I didn't look good, but this week I'm okay. I'm having some painkillers, some other things. Uh, I'm taking some painkillers, some serious painkillers, to try to get my health back. It's funny, right? Because I'm taking these painkillers, so every every so often I got to press this button, and this button gives me fentanyl, right?
Mm.
It gives me fentanyl because of the pain that I'm feeling. So I gotta press it, right? I gotta press it and see what's going on with me every every time I feel pain, right? So it
Mm.
does three things. So one, it gives its own amount, right? So it gives its own amount every hour. It sends out whatever the unit is, 100 milligram, microgram or milligram, whatever it is. I think microgram, not milligram, microgram every hour, right? So it gives it out every hour. And then when I press the button, it gives me 75 more. And then I could call in, and then it will give me um, it will give me another amount. I think it's 75, right? So these putting these three things together, it's a lot of fentanyl.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's a
I'm
lot.
going so that should tell you how much pain I'm going through. Hey, Mikhail. Hey, Miss V. All right, how much pain I'm actually going through. Like right now, I'm actually in pain, and they're doing such a good job of taking care, right? So I have all of these painkillers, I have all of this, trying to get myself out, right? And trying to get my medication out, right? Last week, my back was hurt, my stomach is hurting. Some, all the other medical things that go along with that, Andre. Dude, when
That's
I
when.
say,
So that's why you seem so out cold, even me and Mantico was over there.
yeah, yeah, when you guys were, I was knocked out for the count. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't even. You go 1. You could have counted to 40, and I'm still on the canvas, right? So that was that. Uh,
Right.
but if you see the difference between this week and last week,
Right.
it is amazing. So like now they're thinking about being discharged, right? So yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get it.
man.
Let's get it, man. Let's
Yeah,
get it. Let's
so
get it.
the problem I'm having though mentally is like discharged to what? That's where my problem is coming in,
Oh, so
right?
not necessarily you're not sure if it's a going home or going into another facility.
Well, not even just going home or going to another facility, but it's like what's next, right? Because I have
Oh,
all of these issues. Like, what is next in terms of, hey, Carol, how you doing? In terms of like what's happening. So
right.
that's really scary, right? It is what it is, but you know that you have been entertained.
Mm,
Like we have entertained you. What are you gonna do to entertain yourself,
mm,
right? So it's scary, right?
imagine.
It's scary. But I'm doing the best I can with whatever is happening, right? So I'm not complaining. I'm like, kudos to the doctors, kudos to you know people. Take care of yourselves. I keep saying that over and over again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself.
You can
Um, you,
stay
you,
sit forward because the background is kind of like making you disappear.
okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Right. So the idea. Um, okay. Sorry,
Stay, stay
my
focused.
brother's mad at me because I didn't even recognize. I mean, you gotta understand. Sometimes I'm really, really, really tired,
Mm.
and
You're
uh,
famous, man. So some people just not gonna get you at the time they want.
yeah,
You
yeah.
catch them back later.
It's really really tough. I'm like, yo, dude, it's what is going on, and what needs to happen for for you, right? What needs to happen for you and your family and your friends, you know, loving what my wife is doing, loving what my parents are doing, my aunts,
Mm.
just loving it. My whole family, my friends, right? I want to make sure that I definitely shout out my wife. She be on that phone like 8 o'clock in the morning, chilling
Mhm.
with me. Waking up real mad early, even if she doesn't have to. Or Saturday, Sunday, she's up mad early. Mad early doing what she has to do, bigging up all of my friends who do the same, my parents and all those people that come in and visit. My boy Kenny, been here like all the
Yeah.
time. So next steps, ladies and gentlemen, is that I'm going to leave the hospital, hopefully next week, and then once I leave the hospital, then um, we make whatever necessary improvement, and then hopefully some level of improvement um, for whatever time frame that is allotted, and then we do whatever we need to do, right? But you know, just loving it, just loving the improvement, loving what's going on, loving, I don't know, the prayers out there, the prayers are kicking butt. That is
Yes.
exciting. People are talking about, this about God and that about, I don't know what you're talking about. God answer prayers, and he's answering mine, what I'm saying? Like he's really out there answering and doing whatever. um let's run a commercial real fast and then get back to a couple subjects
Okay.
that's on hand, and then people can again, like whatever questions like people have, you put a question in the chat. I'll do my best to answer those questions. um, I'm at Sloan in Manhattan. If you want to visit, I am at Sloan,
Yes.
and come out and recognize
Yes.
while you're there.
You gotta stay forward because you're still the
Yeah,
background. Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's I'm trying to adjust the.
right,
Is that
like
better?
that. Yeah, that's good. Stay like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pull back a little bit and try to pull the screen forward. Tell me if I'm good, still good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right. So
Yeah.
let's just run the commercial and then we come back. A couple of things that we want to start the show with and start talking about.
Footprints Cafes now offers Caribbean flatbreads, available in 11 mouthwatering flavors, including favorites like jerk chicken, curry chicken, honey garlic chicken or shrimp, ackee and saltfish, garlic cheese, and more. Our flatbreads are satisfying and can be enjoyed by the entire family. So make it a flatbread night at Footprints and enjoy the fusion of flavors. These flatbreads are so good, you might just have to fight for that last piece. Good thing there's plenty more where that came from. Get yours today from any of our Footprints locations. Want to enjoy your flatbread at home? Then order on Uber Eats and get it delivered right to your door. We'll see you there.
Call Howard Housing Solution today for all your real estate needs. Sellers, we can get top dollar for your home, and our vast network of professionals can facilitate your move and help you purchase your dream home in another state. Buyers, we have a pulse on the market and can get you in a home quickly. Property owners, we can manage your property efficiently and allow you peace of mind. So why wait? Call Howard Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560 for your sale, purchase, or property management needs. Conveniently located in East New York, Brooklyn. You can come to us at 577 New Lots Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, or we can visit in the comfort of your home. Call Howard's Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560. Howard Housing Solutions. Real estate simplified.
Want to get your personal income tax, business corporate tax, self-employment tax, quarterly tax, payroll tax, or sales tax filing done professionally?
Yeah.
Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and take the worry out of your personal and business life. Tax compliance issues should be left to the pros. So when you want your business to grow, call the pros because a successful business matters. U.S. Bear LLC also handles accounting, bookkeeping, business startups, consultation, real estate, and many more services. Call U.S. Bear LLC 718-676-0519 and ask for Howard DaCosta, CEO, to book a 1-hour evaluation at no cost to you. Take remote control of all your needs and U.S. Bear LLC will follow your lead. Want to work but don't have a social security number?
Yes!
Find out about getting a tax ID to pay your taxes. Call U.S. Bear LLC or log on to www.usbear.com. Team up for success.
The Grace Family Adult Social Daycare is one of the persons responsible for our show. So you can bring an adult out so that they can enjoy their day, enjoy some activities, get their hair done did, right? Get their hair done did, have a nice salon. Certain beauty options are available to help make the skin, the body, the hair, the hands, the feet better. I know I can't do any of those things. So whenever you get there, they'll let you know who's responsible to ensure that that beauty that you're looking for is there, right? So what are you trying to do? So call 646-504-5778, or you can call 347, right? You can call 347-962 7168. Again, that's 347-962-7168, and speak to the person that answers about your interest in the Grace Family Adult Social Daycare. It's in Brooklyn. So that's Brooklyn, New York, 11203. And then when you call and look, if you're running late, you asking for Minister Cheryl Gibbs, and that will help you to help you sign up, walk in, and have some fun. So that's again, come on out. Yeah, Andre,
How you feeling? How you feeling?
right now to be very honest with you, I'm extremely tired. I am exhausted.
I'm hearing it.
You know, I took some painkillers. Well,
Mhm.
like you know about the painkillers, I took that. And then I had some Benadryl. So
Oh man.
yeah,
Like
so
oh man.
it's like some stuff.
So
Right?
it's not, they hit you right now.
Yes, it's hitting me like a ton of bricks one at a time on the radio.
Oh man.
I have going on right now.
All right, so let's see how what we can go through it. So you know where is it? Uh Mitch McConnell, right? He's about to step down.
Okay. Mitch McConnell,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, is one of the longest serving members of the U.S. Senate, right? So, because of my background, people, when I move around, sometimes the camera will make some slight adjustment to the screen. He's a Senate minority leader. Now, I wanted to explain something to everyone, right? He's 82 years old, which
Yeah.
is which is kind of funny to me, right?
Why?
It's funny because he's 82. Joe Biden
Right. Yeah, the irony.
is the same age. Donald Trump is 78, 77, might be turning 78 real soon. And yet still, you don't hear anybody calling for his head, right?
Mitch McConnell, right?
Yeah, Mitch McConnell's head. And
Well,
they're the
he's
same thing.
well, he's
That's a hypocrisy of politics.
well.
What
I
do you think
mean,
about that?
the fact that he's going to step down in a few months, does that? I mean, Biden is going to be, if he wins, he's going to be going for another 4 year.
Yeah, but
And
let's be clear though, Andre.
Mm.
Let us all be clear.
Mhm.
He's stepping down as the leader of the
Oh, but he's still gonna be.
but he's still going to be, and he doesn't have 4 years. He has 6 years.
Mm.
So when he turns 83, right? When he turns 83, he just turned 82, right? So he just turned it last week, or the week before, February 20th, right? So if he turns, when he runs again, he wins. When he's supposed to run again, he's going to be 88 years old. And he's still, by the way, at 88, he can still run again for another term.
Didn't we have a lady that was in I think the Senate, and at 90 something she passed away recently?
I think there was the guy from Jersey, right? The guy from Jersey a few years ago who actually died in office. That's how Corey, where my glasses at? They're right here. That's how Corey got into office. He was like 90 something years old and died in office. Right? Died in office for a number years ago, right? So if you think about it, here are the oldest U.S. senators, right? The oldest, right?
Yeah.
And you have Mitch McConnell, who's 81. You have Bernie Sanders, who's 82. Jim Reich, who's 80, right? And we have Chuck Grassley, who's 90 years old, right?
The lady was Dianne Feinstein, California senator,
Yeah, she just died last.
September.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. The big
at
picture.
90 years old.
Yeah, she died at
Mm.
90, right? So if you do the big picture, let's go back. And this is one of the things, like with when you look at politics in America, you begin to start questioning the hypocrisy, right? Are they really about politics, or are they really about securing a position in the field, right? So when you think about it, what let's see, you have Chuck, who's 90, he's a Republican. Bernie Sanders, 82, right? Mitch McConnell, Republican, 81. Jim Reich, 80, Republican. Ben Cardin, Democrat, Maryland, 80. Angus King, Independent. I don't know what side he falls on. 79, right? And then you have Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin, who is 79. And then actually, what's his name is no spring chicken either, people. Let's Mitt Romney, 76. Shaheen is 77. I want to see how old it's not here, but what's his name is not that young either, right?
I think I
Chuck
think
Schumer, right?
I
Chuck-
think that as let's use political leaders, or just particular fields. If you might be at a certain age and still able to be active, full of life, vital and
Mhm.
all. But I don't think it's wrong to bring into question when you may slur your words when you're talking as major leader, um despite people wanting to say, well, they should still be able to lead and all that stuff. It's going to also cause people to question your leadership strength,
Mhm.
right? So, like, even seen when Biden would seem to forget certain things or call things the incorrect way, or even when Mitch McConnell slurred and seemingly faint those times. It's a sign that says, hey, perhaps this role is too much on you right now. Maybe even go for a less strenuous role, or retire. As you go up in age. I mean, retirement age is what, 65?
You mean like the official retirement age in America?
Yeah.
Well, you can collect your Social Security, your full benefits at 67.
Yeah. So I mean, and
65 to 67, yeah.
and then now when you think about it too, we are going forward in the world is changing, right?
Mhm.
And so the people who are leading are still from a different age, still moving in a way wherein they're using the experiencing from that age to work in this age right now, wherein it's not working for a lot of the
Mhm.
youth. So I think even that itself,
I think I look at the hypocrisy, right? I look at the hypocrisy that's involved in what they're saying, right? I look at the hypocrisy, like, if you're saying Biden should step down,
Mhm.
then Mitch McConnell should have stepped down. There
Mhm.
should be a limit in terms of your age that you should run, right?
Exactly.
So if you're arguing that if you feel good, run, right?
Yeah.
People have to remember something important, right? And I think, like, a lot of times people miss out. People vote for them, right? They vote. Yes, Norma. Norma, it's awesome speaking to you. Norma and I work together at Prospect. So it's great seeing you as well, right? So the people have to understand something, that Republicans are trying to force Biden to retire, but at the same time not looking at Donald Trump at his age, that he should retire, right? And so you can't be. That's what I'm saying. Like, American politics is not American politics, right? American politics is supporting the Republican Party and not what's best for our country. It's not what's best, right? So sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at these leaders, you say, how much did these leaders have before they entered office? How much, or what is their net worth now? Like sometimes you Google net worth Mitch McConnell 1988, right? That's, that's about the year that he got elected in 1988. So that's what, 36 years ago he got elected, right? And he has a race this year. If he were to win, right?
It's ranging from, let's say, 13.42 million to 54.
Right.
Love.
I mean, he has a large cash cow, right? He has a large amount of money that he's valued at, right? So a lot of times people don't want to leave office because they're making money. All right. And your net worth, like for Mitch McConnell, his money don't mean anything to him right now because, we all know life,
right there.
right? Life expectancy rate is not, he's not going to live much longer after leaving office, right? But he's securing a legacy, right? So that's that. But I thank him though for deciding that he's going to step down from office and recognizing that there can be a difference in terms of what he's doing. Let's move on from the topic.
What do you think about what Ingrid say here? Dr.
What did
Ingrid
Ingrid say? I think it's important to take cognitive tests for everyone. We don't want to appear to be age discriminating. There's mental health tests also. Yeah, Ingrid, but that's still a level of discrimination, right? So you have to think about doing discriminatory practices, right? So I'm going to tell you, you're too old to work. I think like with like certain positions, right, in America, that you have automatic retirement age. You touch this level, you have to retire. That's it, right? There's no whether you want to stay in office or not. So if you're an elected official, you're healthy or not, you're done at 66. You're done at 70. I'm just throwing a number out there. I'm not saying whatever it is, right? You're done, right? Let some other people do different things. So I'm forcing you to enjoy your part of life, right? I retired at 47. That's way too young, right? I feel like I've lost something by retiring so early at 47, right? Obviously, I was forced to retire, and then after I'm, 47, my retirement age was 55. So why are you making other people, you create laws that force people to retire before they're 60 years old, but you're not creating laws for our elected officials and elected leaders to retire earlier? You have to ask yourself these questions, ladies and gentlemen. Why do elected leaders want to stay in office?
Power, money,
right? Power and money, right? So
prestige.
Yep. Ingrid, right. I think it's important to take cognitive tests for everyone. We don't want to. No, okay. I read that, right? The next one was, what was the next one?
I'm bringing up that Sophie. Sorry.
Right. Who made the next comment? Sophie, you can bring it up.
Mavis Llewellyn. Who's that?
That's my auntie. Daddy's sister. So the
That's
comment says, "Hello, my nephew. It's good to see you." Yes, thank you, Auntie Mavis. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. So the reality of the situation is that we have to ask ourselves, is it really about politics? And that's how we keep telling people, yeah, I talk about politics a lot because we don't educate ourselves about the power of politics. Like some of us, I'm going to stay away from politics. But when you look at office, who's in office? Right? Who are these people in office? You have a lot of these white folks that stay in office for an eternally long time, making decisions about every other race. I want to bring up something. I want to skip a topic, and I want to move to the uncommitted. I want to talk to you're right. It is about control. I want to talk to our audience out there, especially those in Michigan. The concept, Andre, of the uncommitted is the stupidest concept right? That there is. And people are asking me, why would you make a statement like that? That's terrible. Why would you make? Because if you want to do the uncommitted properly, you have to do uncommitted Republican and uncommitted Democrat.
What do you mean?
So uncommitted is about fighting against Biden,
Mm.
right? About Gaza and what's happening in Gaza and the Gaza Strip, right? And Palestine.
Mhm.
I keep saying to people all the time, and ladies and gentlemen who are listening, all Republicans will vote to support Israel.
Mm.
Every single one. Or the same percentage of Republican will vote to support Israel. So when you're doing what you're doing with the uncommitted, is you're literally taking away votes to give to the GOP, right? You're giving the votes to the GOP who believe even more fervently about what the Democrats believe. So essentially, you're taking out of power the Democrat to put a Republican in power who are staunch believers of Israel. Think about that for a second. I am saying I'm fighting against my own to put in the opposite party who believes in exactly what I'm fighting against the Democrat to do.
The paradox.
It's not a paradox. It's stupidity.
Yeah.
It's stupidity.
A two-party system, go back and forth.
Yeah. A Republican. If you speak to a Republican, and I'm not complaining against Israel, I'm not complaining against Palestine. I'm complaining against the concept.
Mm-hmm.
The concept is, if I don't like you, and they don't like you, and I'm telling everybody don't vote. I'm telling everybody don't vote for you, Andre, in this party, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're uncommitted, and vote in this party who also don't like you. You basically just say, here, you on this side, you win. With the same belief.
Mm.
So you need to have, in order for this to work effectively, you need to have an uncommitted on the Republican side. And you're not going to get that. Because the Republicans are not going to support uncommitted. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense what I'm saying? So if people are, when you really think about it, people, it's almost like what Ross Perot did to George Bush in 1992. He literally caused George Bush Sr. to lose the race and make Bill Clinton win the election. Because they literally got up and say, from his economic standpoint, that's who we're voting for. So he lost the race based upon a belief system, right, that you were taking a stance against. Because you didn't get the Democrats to be Ross Perot supporters. Right?
So, okay. So what I'm trying to understand in a sense really is that the person, when you say uncommitted, it's like I am for this particular cause in a sense, but because there's one thing off with it, I'm going to vote for the other cause.
No, uncommitted is a group of individuals who are Democrats who are standing in opposition to the Democratic Party in Michigan.
Well, it's like like a faction. Like there's a group, and then one group is just not for the entire group as a whole. Is that
so the group is saying they're anti what Biden is doing in Palestine.
But they're Democrat though.
But they're Democrats.
Mm.
So they're anti what's going on in
Palestine.
In Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
but you're voting against the party that is also, you're voting, so you're basically sending people to the other party
Okay. Okay. I
that's
got
going to vote
it.
the
Yeah.
identical way that you're fighting against.
Um.
Right.
Man.
It's the same thing. So I don't know how to explain this to you better.
No.
The
I
uncommitted-
understand
so
now
let's
because.
say the uncommitted is saying to Joe Biden, stop the war in Palestine
Mm-hmm,
and support the Palestinians,
mm-hmm,
the Muslims, right?
mm-hmm.
Support them. The Republicans believe, and they have shown it, and Donald Trump has talked about removing Muslims from the United States. Right? So he said it, and they attempted to do it, right? So now you're sending people from the Democratic Party, because you tell them don't vote for Biden,
Mm-hmm.
right? To the Republican Party, who already showed you on paper and in reality that they're creating policies against the Muslim population. Get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you is essentially you're part of this group, but the group is doing something that you do not like, and so you're against it, and your actions showing your opposition sends people who support that group to the opposing group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's it called? That I don't know if it's a double-edged sword or
Right. So
yeah.
your argument should be trying to get the Democrats to vote, and this is what I've been saying: create a comprehensive immigration plan.
Excuse me.
Right? Create a comprehensive look at what are we going to support in the war. Because, for example, Trump already says we should get rid of NATO. We should get rid of NATO. Right? So think about it. Thank you, Ms. Brathwaite. I thank you so much for your comment. Right? I'm trying to stay above ground and stay with us all. Right? But if you think about it, you need to create a comprehensive, a charter plan, create a bill that's universal in the United States that's coming up in November about how to support Palestine, right? Right? How to support immigration policy. You need to create a comprehensive plan that includes a look at what's going on in Palestine. Because there are a lot of dirty things going on in Palestine, right? Hamas is the worst. So everybody don't get it twisted. Hamas is terrible. But at the same time, there are a lot of people getting killed by Israel in Palestine. So you have that. So unfortunately, we need to create a plan that will ensure that families, young people are safe. You need to create some kind of, just like in the United States, the border piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to create something that's comprehensive so that people don't get killed, that lives are saved. Netanyahu is not innocent in what has happened in Israel. He's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are coming out against Benjamin Netanyahu and what he's doing. So he's not innocent. So everybody don't get it twisted like Netanyahu is this innocent prime minister in Israel who's just looking out for the Israelis. He's looking out for his own benefits as well, right? So we have to figure out what can we do to support the people of Israel who are suffering over there, and we need to create a comprehensive plan that is supporting the people of Palestine so that they can safely cross the border as well, right? And I know people don't want to hear both sides like that, but the truth is, everybody's not a murderer. Everybody wants, one thing for certain, everybody wants to go home and see their children, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my big fight right now with me is, how do I get to see my children? right? So think about it, right? So we have to think about those two comments. We need to see our children. We need to stop the genocide. We need to stop the killing. We need to stop the craziness that's going on in right. We need to stop everybody who are doing these crazy things in the Middle East.
So what would you suggest then? Because I know you mentioned about
I
we.
think sanctions,
Mhm.
sanctions become important. Creating sanctions that would affect both sides, right?
Mm.
Sanctions that would that would deal with both sides.
And seem with the U.S. I mean, I'm thinking of even the consequences of sanctions. Though I agree, right? Because then it had, the sanctions has also impacted trade and
Mhm.
even during the pandemic, and as a result of that, it affected our own economic concerns. So like even with inflation, supply demand, so that now affect the people in terms of spending power. So I mean, I'm not against sanctions, but also I'm thinking about the consequences and how it affects the people. Because even now, while inflation slowly going down, um, it being so high, wages are not growing as fast. And
Mhm.
if the boss has to be paying people, lay them off. I'm like, well, I'm gonna fire a few of y'all so I could pay more.
Mhm.
So it just has that trickling down effect. And
Okay.
so the
Yeah, Ralphie, I
question.
just got your message. I am so sorry to hear that you're in the ER. Just prayers are going up for you, right? Prayers are going up. All right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I definitely, I think I agree with sanctions. Just thinking of the consequences. How would the consequences be combated?
Well, it's you need to stop the killing. You need to let the prisoners of the POWs out, right? You need to let them out. Have
Reform.
real reason to have POWs, not the crap that or you just conjure up some kind of the person broke the law. No, get some real reason to have some POWs and release the Israeli individuals, release the Palestinians who are held captive without just cause.
I
So
guess
you,
then, sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm listening.
I guess then with the sanctions, then probably comes down to who can hold out the longest. I mean that's really what's even been happening too. When you think with how Russia invade Ukraine and how they kept pushing forward and US kept putting sanctions on them, right? It's as
Mhm.
if it comes down to who's gonna hold out longest without having what they need to make sure that their people are okay.
Right. Yeah, because it comes down to economic girth, right? And
Yeah.
so that's important. But I think the sanctions will help. Um, because a lot of things are happening, and a lot of things are crazy out there in other countries, and it's affecting the world, right? And what are we doing? United States is looked upon as supposed to be one of our great world leaders, right?
Hmm.
Thank you all guys for watching the Village Radio Talk Show, where we're dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, right? Helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today, where success is not just spoken, it is done, right? By the way, today,
Yeah.
Andre,
What's
today's
today?
leap
The
year,
leap year, right? Hmm.
right? Does anybody know why there's a leap year?
That's a good question. But I think
Does
it
anybody
started.
know?
A
I
lot of
know.
these things start with the Romans and their calendars.
So it doesn't. So what happens is that it doesn't take uh 365 days to rotate around the sun.
It does not.
No, it takes 365 and 15 minutes. Right?
Oh, that's science. Gotta be specific, of
Right?
course.
It takes 365 and 15 minutes, right? Am I doing this right? Let's see, 365,
0.25 days.
right? Right. So 0.5, right? So 1.5 more times it takes to go around the sun. So technically, all of those days adds up. And on the fourth year, you get the leap year. That's why there's a leap year.
Hmm.
So
So that
people, right, don't think they're 24 hours in a day, right? It's not 24 hours in a day. Okay. So you get a quarter day every year, right? So what's a quarter day? What's that? 6 hours?
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every year you get 6 hours, right? And then they take off that 6 hours. And on the fourth year, they give you 6 times 4 is 24, 24 hours, 1 day. That's why there's a leap year, right? For those of you who are science buffies, who are not science buffies, that's why.
Here, here's the read up on it too.
Mhm,
So, well, right here, what we had put a year. It says once every 4 years we get a leap year. We add a day to the
mhm,
calendar, so it correctly aligns with the rotation around the sun.
mhm.
And so a year is about 365.25 days long. So adding the extra day every 4 years keeps the calendar accurate. So
Right.
6 hours may not seem to be so important, but after 10 years, without a leap day, we would be
Mhm.
off by 2.5 days. After 100 years, we will be off about 25 days. And of course, the seasons will occur at different time. And so you could see summer in November.
Yeah, because it's additional days,
But
right?
that to me is also funny too, because even perhaps maybe a millennia ago, or
Mhm.
the way how the calendar itself was set wasn't even how it was set now. Or even a few years ago, excuse me, they added an extra, what's that, what is that, horoscope or zodiac?
Yeah, or the zodiac signs. Okay.
Yeah, so they add up, as these things continually change.
Yeah, they add a 13th
um
zodiac sign for
yeah,
a few days. Yeah.
so that's something.
Yeah, but I'm just there's such a situation what is happening in Gaza. Pull that up, Sophia, please. Crisis for not having enough. I think this is such a sad story. What is happening in Gaza?
So join.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Dr. Bryant, welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
Say hello to the people for us.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back, Mr. Daly. It's so good to see you.
Yes, thank you, thank you,
You
thank
too,
you.
Andre.
Yeah, I was waiting
You're
for you.
holding the fort. No,
Yeah.
no. You're doing good. You're
I was
doing
waiting for
good.
you.
Yeah, John is not feeling very well this week, so hopefully he might be able to get on. I doubt it, but he's not feeling well. So it's sad to see how many people died so far. There's no solution to save these people. This election, the Democrats will face a serious crisis for not doing enough to help the Palestinian people. That's true, but it's not on them, right? It's not on them, because you have to understand, like they send the aids. Donald Trump, people don't get it, right? Donald Trump is using his influence to stop the Republicans from doing support,
Mm-hmm.
bipartisan support of Ukraine migration issue and the and Israel, right? He's utilizing his power to do all of that. So we have to utilize. So it's not about the Democrats. It's about both people. The Democrats, the United States is a three-legged system, right? Three-legged system when it comes to politics.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to just blame the head, but not looking at everything that's involved, right? So you have the House of Representatives, you have the House, the Senate, the US Senate, and you have the presidency, right? So when they say bipartisan, it means the Republicans and the Democrats have come together. The Republicans do not work with the Democrats, period. And especially now that Trump wants to be in power, he's telling the Republican who owns the House, who look at immigration, that you should not be supporting anything relating to immigration. So even if Joe Biden wants to do something, right, even if the Democratic Party wants to do something, the Republican Party is going to say no. And they don't have enough votes to change their minds. Ladies and gentlemen. So some of us who are blaming the Democrats, you need to blame the Republicans. Stop blaming the Democrats. Blame the Republicans, because if the Republican, right, but executive order, Ingrid, is not only going to do it for you, right? And also you're right, Sickle, that the Supreme Court, which is supposed to be nonpartisan, right, has also become very partisan in terms of where they vote. If you look along the line, if the thing is brought up by the Republicans win. If it's brought up by the Democrat, they lose. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's so political.
Right. So therefore, Donald Trump, so we are looking stupid because we feel that it's Biden. It's not just Biden. Look at what the Republicans are doing to ensure that things don't happen. Look at the deal that we made at the wall, and boom, the GOP, they brought up their own thing and they blew it up themselves. Right? Look at what the money for the war in Ukraine. Where's the money? You can't get it. Right? So the question is, what is going on? So it's not just Joe Biden, and people are blaming him, but it's not just him. He wants the wall to be fixed. He wants the immigration politics to be fixed.
And they block it every opportunity.
And they block it every time.
Yep.
They find these
excuses not to do things.
Right. These bipartisan solutions, right? Meaning Democrat and Republican solutions to the problem, but the Republicans go no. And then we now keep blaming Joe Biden. We're not talking to our brothers and sisters in those Republican states and say, hey, what are you guys doing? Let's get these things together. Let's get these acts together. That's not happening, right? It has to be done in a bipartisan way, that there's agreement. And Trump is just like when Trump decided that he's going to fight against Barack Obama with the Supreme Court judge
to block
it in 2016.
Yep.
Right. So it's the same thing. So what are we doing to ensure that we can get things passed? And he might become a lame duck president because the U.S. Senate is the U.S. of him wanting to win, right? Putin, right? So I mean, yeah, you have these. And by the way, if you notice what kind of deal is reached, ladies and gentlemen, the deals that are reached are deals that keep the Republican in power.
Yep.
So they reached a deal to avoid government shutdown because they weren't going to get paid. So they got to get paid. So they have to reach a deal.
I keep saying they need to tie their salary together as part of the government shutdown. So when they decide to do,
they did.
Okay.
They did. That's why they voted for it. Let's move on. I don't want to get stuck with us getting stuck on politics. Donald Trump is complaining that
he's always complaining.
Well, this might be a legitimate complaint, right?
About what?
The government is saying that he has to pay these lucrative.
Good. He has to sell some of his property.
He has to sell property. He has to be able to sell some of the stuff to ensure that the government reaches its money that they're asking for the $454 million.
Well, he's selling sneakers to black folks, telling that, hey, because he's a criminal, they're gonna join side with him. So hey, I don't feel bad for him. Nothing bad.
But you know what? Some black folks are gonna buy the sneakers. It's
Well,
kind of like Timberland back in the days.
well, guess what? His crew already set up.
Timberland's or Tommy Hilfiger, one of them.
Is it GoFundMe? GoFundMe have a whole campaign trying to bail him out. I'm sick of it.
Oh, do they really have GoFundMe? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. They do a GoFundMe account just for him to get but he didn't set it up, but one of his crew did.
Okay.
So they're trying to bail him out. And we shall see. We shall see. You feel bad for him? I don't feel bad for him.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't feel bad for him. I think that we need to. A private citizen started it, according to Ingrid.
Thank you, Ingrid.
I'm not upset. Listen, you do what you need to do to raise funds. It's up to us. I think it's like we really, literally are the ones supporting some of the Fakasi behaviors that are happening, and so we need to fix that. Supreme Court hearing. So and then right now, so he's in April. They're coming up. He's going to be tried on what he was hoping he could get put off, and then throw it out.
July is supposed to be the one for, I think, the court document. No, it's not the court document. This one is the January 6th. That's going to be coming up in July. They're trying to make the case for that day.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm tired of Donald Trump. The conversation is always about him. For the last couple of years, we've been talking about this man nonstop.
Well,
I don't. A day of no Donald Trump, a day of pause.
Unfortunately, Donald Trump is the media.
Okay, we don't care about that.
No, you can't. You keep saying that all the time. Like we don't care. America cares. You might not care. Not we.
Oh, right? You care? Okay.
Right? You might not care, and you weren't going to vote for Donald Trump anyway. So you don't matter. Right? It doesn't matter that Dr. Joanne Bryant don't care about Donald Trump. The fact is, there are people out there who are thinking about voting for Donald Trump.
Okay.
There are people who are going to support Donald Trump. See, I was explaining to somebody that Donald Trump has 37% automatic base. So he steps out, 30% of America will automatically vote for Donald Trump.
All right. We spend a lot of time talking about him. And there's so much more happening.
Wait. Here's my question for you. What is the impact of him being able to not pay his bill? What is the impact on America if he can't do it?
It shows that he's not a billionaire. He's a liar, like he said. He's a liar.
Can he still be president? And how many people actually care about that?
His whole crew don't care. They even said if he's in prison, if he get convicted, they're gonna vote for him. They're gonna vote for him.
And that's why he's important. So he'll be one of the first president and the only president in the history of the United States who will be elected as a convicted criminal. That's why the conversation around Donald Trump, whether he's not on the ballot.
They're going to Supreme Court right now, and he put half of the people on. So I'm expecting it to go in his favor.
Yeah,
so the system is not set up fairly anymore, to be honest with you.
No,
you have judges that will not vote correctly and side with whatever he says. And that's a problem.
Dr. Ingrid Frey wrote,
congratulations.
We have to care. Biden forgave my PhD loan, which is high figures. I think Democrats need more PR.
That's true.
Just got email Tuesday. What is PR? More publicity? Public relations?
Yep. Because a lot of people did get their loan forgiven. And it was with the support. He kept his word. He was going to apply for student loans. So, hey, people forget.
But that's the point of what I'm making, right? That's the point of what I'm making.
That's the point.
That if all of these fugazi things that are going on with Donald Trump, his popularity is still rising. Like, so the media, which includes us,
That's why I don't want to talk about him.
yeah,
There's so many more things happening around.
no, but
the
you have to
world.
understand something. You keep saying, I don't want to talk about it. If we want an audience for the discussion, we have to talk about it.
All right.
Right? Period. So it's not about Dr. Bryant and what Dr. Bryant want. It's about what is happening in our country that people need to talk about. Is he going to be off the ballot in Illinois? That's important, right? Because now, if he gets off the ballot in Illinois, you now have 3 states.
Well, the other states, they said no. The voters should vote. So,
But they didn't say no. They're still fighting in Colorado, Maine, and now Illinois, right? They're not all fighting. Plus, he has the insurrection. So these things are important because it sets a model for the United States moving forward.
Well, the United States don't have a model anymore because anything goes.
Well, that's the point, right? That's important, right? Because now, what's the importance of the Supreme Court?
You know, is making the Constitution look like nothing, to be honest with you.
There you go, right? There you go. These are now important points.
If laws that's been put in place many, many years ago, hey, these are the founding fathers or whatever, that means absolutely nothing. We're going backwards instead of forward. And that's what
Mavis rights
actually pay attention to.
Mavis rights. I hope that they don't allow Trump to get away with the crimes, or else this country will be going into communism. That's a possibility.
It is.
Right. So that's why these conversations are important. The point that if the Supreme Court rules in his favor or not, the point is not if the Supreme Court rules in his favor or not, but he's running out the clock so he can shut down the federal case in the event that he wins. Absolutely. Absolutely. And people have to understand that. I would love in another show to discuss college and the importance of finding the right ones for you. Right? Athletics, a scholarship, what you need to know. The more we arm ourselves with knowledge. Absolutely. And I would like to do that, especially for our young people who are going to get scholarships for school.
Yes, Lord.
If they put him in power, not if they, if we. So Mavis, you got to change from they to we.
Yeah. People need to go out and vote. They need
to go out and stop other people from voting if they're against Donald Trump. So you vote in your own cocoon. You staying in New York is not going to do anything because he's not going to win New York. He's not going to win Connecticut. He's not going to win any of the states near us. He's not going to win Connecticut, Massachusetts. Blah, blah. He might win Maine, might win New Hampshire, right?
So you're telling Mavis to go out and travel from state to state?
Well, maybe she might not need to go out, but she might need to find a hub where they're doing phone banking.
Okay.
Right? So you can do phone banking from your home. You get a list, or you go to a place in your union and make phone calls to other states and ask people to consider voting for whomever you want to ask them to vote for.
Okay.
Right? If you believe that this person should not be in power.
Okay.
Or whether or not he's using the office. So those things are very, very important. I mean, if he gets kicked off the ballot in Illinois, it also says a lot.
Well, I'm not holding my breath. I'm disappointed with the Supreme Court. It seemed as though a lot's been, I don't know, I'm losing hope into our justice system.
Yes.
Because it's not
more than one reason. This is just one. So everything is partisan. And you hope the only place that's not partisan is the judiciary system. And they're completely partisan.
It is.
Right? So, we need to figure it out. Let's move on to another topic. Today is leap year. We talked about that. Right? The government shut down. We already talked about that.
What about the gentleman who actually, this is important, the second illegal migrant shelter raid, one in Queens and one in the Bronx?
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
So there was a furniture owner in Queens
Mhm.
that 2 days ago they uncovered that he was keeping many of the migrants
Mhm.
in the basement, housing them. He said these were migrants that was, had to move within 30 days. He's charging each one of them $300 a month to
The
stay there,
migrants.
the migrants.
Okay.
There was it was about 60 people. Yes, he had a location in the Bronx and he has a location in the Bronx and a location in Queens. So
Mhm.
many of them were in the basement of a furniture store, and they discover he had an illegal migrant shelter where he was charging them and had bunks and everything. There wasn't enough bathrooms, and it's not set out for, it's not a housing place, but he kept
Mhm.
them there. He said, he's African as well. He felt bad for his people or whatever. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, I understand you feel bad, but then you're charging these people $300 a month. And if you had 60 of them,
The $300 a month is a problem. The question is how many people, how many migrants did he have for $300?
60.
60
And
people in a basement?
yes, and then
So
the Bronx,
$18,000 a month.
yeah, then the Bronx, he had he had migrants over a couple of dozens,
Mhm.
and then he had some in the basement again and some in the cellar. And what 34 on the first floor and 11 in the cellar, where he was charging them the same amount, $300
Uh-huh.
each.
13,500. Uh-huh.
So here it is. He was like, I felt bad for my people. They didn't have nowhere to go, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you say you feel bad for them, but then you're charging them $300 in a place where there's no bathroom like that. Shower is not there. And then there was a lot of the bikes that keeps catching on fire that plugged in all over. So that was a disaster waiting to happen. A disaster waiting to happen. Thank God there was no fire that caught a fire that took place. But it's just like, my God. So FDNY and the buildings department found 45 beds at the two-story commercial, and then 34 on the first, like I mentioned to you. So 45 on one, and then the other one 60. Wow. So of course he's paying a hefty violation. They charge him a couple of different violations from the Queens location and also the Bronx location. So these people are, on top of each other, on bunkers, the same way. He's like, hey, I understand what he was trying to do, but that's not how you go about and doing things, especially if you don't have the AOK to do it, the capacity to do it, to make sure that people can take showers, use the bathroom, you're not a hotel. So, what are your thoughts?
I think clearly uh I think clearly that's insane. Um I think that's clearly insane.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it's clearly about money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
10 people, maybe $3,000 a month. But to tell me that you're trying to help out your people
Yeah.
and putting 45 people inside of a place, it's, yeah, it's low cost, right? Yeah, it is low cost,
He said he's paying $7,000 a month to sublease the vacant space.
right?
$7,000 a month, but
Well,
then you pack 60 people in.
yeah, I mean, with 45 people times 300, right? 45 people times 300
Mm-hmm.
is
And it's
13,000. Is 13,500. So
and
even if you look, so he's looking at paying his mortgage, uh, the water rate is not going to be that high to cover. So maybe the water rate might go up $2,000. The light and gas, I mean, we don't know what their living conditions are, right? So everything else is conjecture. But the reality of the situation is it's still greed, right? It's still housing greed about what happens.
Yeah,
that to
he's
me,
on TV crying, boo-hooing. But I'm like,
boo-hoo nothing. Boo-hoo nothing. You saw a way to make money, and you looked at it. I do think that Mayor Adams should open up the opportunities for people to rent out their facility for migrants.
he did say that before. Remember the churches and other places?
No, your personal private opportunity, right? To rent out a room to a migrant, a full room, a room that covers 2 people per room. That should be checked out by the city and ensure that from the city that what they see.
Would you do it? Would you do it?
I absolutely would do it. I absolutely would rent out my property for the migrants, right? And ensure that they're getting whatever needs to get done, right? You have, 2 per apartment. You have 2 per apartment. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to touch. Let's talk about the migrant situation. I was watching.
Tanisha.
Hey, Tanisha, how are you doing today? Thank you. Hey, Nicole, right? I would absolutely rent to migrants. I think you have to look at its. Yes, trust me, the prayers are going up for me, Mavis, and I so appreciate them. Right, I so appreciate them. I wanna go back to. I was listening to Fox News the other day, and a migrant came from New York, left New York, and went to Georgia and killed a college student.
The illegal migrant that they said that came.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Years ago.
Hold on. The Republican changed the narrative from talking about the fact that a person
died,
came from New York and killed somebody. Like, it wasn't that the person went down there to kill the person. Is that the person was down there as a migrant, they got into an argument and they killed the person. Right? Has nothing to do with the migrant. But Fox News twisted the whole conversation to make it, there's a black lawyer talking about it, to make it all about the migrants. And the migrants are committing these crimes, which they are committing some crimes. That's a reality, right? And I was laughing and I said, what percentage of crime per day is committed by a migrant? The media would want you to believe that every crime committed every day is done by migrants. I mean, how this black lawyer was going at it. He goes, this illegal why don't you go at it? You're a black man. Why I'm not hearing, but you know what he heard? He heard dollar signs. So it's all about money, because you weren't complaining about our black brothers and sisters who are killing each other. Right? Because the bulk of the murders in America is done by black folks. The bulk of the murders are done by black folks. And they're not undocumented. They're actually African American, which I don't like that expression. Black History Month. Don't like that expression.
Yeah, on the last day of Black History Month. Come on, man.
Yeah, right? No, it didn't happen today. No. The situation didn't happen today. Right? So I'm laughing at we are not having the right conversation. The Republican person switched the narrative, who are the same people who are stopping border protection.
Yes. Unless Donald Trump comes into office.
We shouldn't agree with the GOP, right? We shouldn't agree with the Democrats, right? We shouldn't agree with them.
But we should blame them.
We should blame them about the migrants and then the migrants are responsible when we try to set up something to stop the border so the migrants don't come in. Hold on one sec. I'll be back. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because it's so true. Many times we will do everything to block. Hey, if I bring up a great proposal and say, hey, this is what can work, I've seen it work, and I'm putting this plan, it's like, no. Let's see. Unfortunately, security checks need to be done on these migrants. In order for most immigrants to come into this country, you have to file papers and go through security checks. There is
Absolutely.
a process.
Right. I absolutely need to go through process.
But
100%
the amount
agree.
of migrants that's coming in at the speed that they're coming in, they can't keep up with the security checkpoints. That's the problem.
But if the thing is, if you switch some of the border people, some of the airport people, some of the people who are doing nothing, because the people the excess waste, right? In offices, you can get across many offices a minimum of 500 to 600 police officers, homeland security officers, airport people,
That's true.
bridge and whatever. You're not taking away a full shift.
You know who wants to prove
What does it create? Better security checks. Lies. What do you mean by lies? What do you mean by lies? Unfortunately, Empress, explain what you mean by lies. Unfortunately, security checks need to be done on these migrants. Now, for most migrants to come to the country, you have to file papers and go through security checks. This is a process. I agree, and also I think I agree with that things need to get done. Europe and Canada do what? What do Europe and Canada do? Empress,
I think it's the security checks she's referring to.
yeah, but I think the difference is that there's an abundance, right? There's an abundance of there's an abundance of
resources
of things of migrants, right? The abundance of migrants, right? Right.
That's true.
There are an abundance of migrants who are oversaturating the border, which is making it difficult for you to get all these migrants per day. And some people are going to slip through the system, which is unfortunate. And some people lie. Some people come with false documents. Right? Every country has undocumented people. It's not just the United States. Unfortunately, we highlight in the United States, especially when they commit a crime. Why aren't we highlighting ways to make more undocumented people who are living in this country, right? Making them more legal, like create a greater pathway to citizenships for the undocumented individuals, right? And some of these people, the same people can work at the border, right? The same people can find jobs, like, going through the tolls, doing this, doing that. What are we doing as in a bipartisan way that's going to generate funds to help the border? Or are we just going to sit there saying, hey, Democrats is you, hey, Republican is you, which is what is happening?
Yeah, it's been going on like that for over 2 years.
Right.
Hey, we're going to do this. Okay, no, we're going to block you. Hey, we're going to do that. We're going to block you.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly.
Then it's your fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Look
right here. Look
at the crimes happening.
Look, Dr. Brian. It's your fault.
Look at the crimes happening in New York. Look at the crimes happening over here.
Yeah.
Look at the crimes happening there.
And then we have the narrative of the lawyer on national television not addressing the issue of what can be done to move.
Of course not.
Right.
What are you expecting a lot, Roger.
Right. Move. Right. You see, Empress Ija, I want to point out something to you that's very, very important. And I keep saying this over and over again. America is looked at as the country that I want to be in. So anywhere you go in the world, nobody wants to go to Canada, I mean, I'm not saying nobody. Don't get me wrong, right?
Sonia, yes, some of these migrants can be sent back home, but there are laws
Right.
with that. That's the
Right.
problem.
It makes right. Justify what is happening, what is going on in these countries, right? There are gang wars going on in Jamaica for real. There are real gang wars going on in Haiti. That's real. It's not fictitious. You know, they were talking about one person who was responsible for 800 deaths in Jamaica. That's a lot of people that you're getting killed. So let's be quite clear. What are we doing on a bipartisan level to ensure that our citizens, all of them, are getting the right support necessary? What are we doing, right? Are we just sitting there like as it's everybody else? Let's just blame Dr. Bryant, right?
Yeah. And you know what I say? Bring it, baby, bring it.
Absolutely. But then what does Dr. Bryant do? Dr. Bryant say, hey, give it back to the Republicans because it's them, it's their fault. Right. So we have to start looking at bipartisan politics when it comes to certain issues. I know we're not going to get along economically. I know that we're not going to get along on abortion and abortion rights. I know Tennessee just had a ban the other day that they cannot have gay pride flags in their schools, right? Nothing gay pride in their schools, right? I get that. Like that's a moral component for the Democrat, for the Republicans. Like they view that gay right flag should not be allowed, or gay things should not be allowed, right, in their schools. Okay, that's different than saying we're not gonna come to an agreement because I want my party to win. Right? That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
About
it is.
I just remember because I remember that when Haiti had the crisis, or when Haiti had the crisis, even after they helped them, they were still standing back. So how they decide which migrants they can help. And
they ask the same questions too. Which one they help?
Day out, right? Right. You're right. That's not necessarily true that I wouldn't take them in my house. That's not necessarily true. The question becomes, what are the proper markers that would allow me to make a decision about taking them in my house? What is the long term? In other words,
money is the proper marker for a lot of people.
No, but it's not even just that, though. The question becomes, so if you're in my house for 6 months and the government says I'm no longer paying, can I move you out of my house? That's an issue, right?
And many of them, once you have people a certain amount of time, you stuck, baby. They working, not working. Guess what? Do you really want that?
And that becomes right.
So your headache going back and forth to court to what?
Right.
To keep them out, please.
So I hate a person. She was talking about Haiti. So right. Let's say let's not put a country there, but let's just say John Tom came with the legal measures to come to your home. It's 1 year that everything needs to get done with the documentations and the papers for them to stay there. After the year, New York State, United States government, are you going to facilitate transitioning out of my house? Right? Are you going to facilitate that? If you're not going to facilitate that, then I'm not willing to support you. I don't want the headache of John Tom being in my house for 6 months after that.
Yeah.
Right? So what's the support level? So all of these things that we're talking about, they have to work out.
They have to gel together nicely. Right.
So like, but I don't like, like people are it's no different from saying to an undocumented who's been here for 10 years, who does babysitting and are sleep in because they want to have ends meet and they're doing a good job, and giving them an opportunity to work and to stay with you. There's no difference. What the hell is the difference? They're both working very hard. So what's their pathway to citizenship? So they're comfortable. right? So people, I think people, what we fail to realize, because we're here now, we're here legally, that America is placed on a pedestal.
Yes.
Right? When I was in Jamaica, right, I was told that America had streets paved with gold. So guess what?
What was the one with the honey? Well, it was dripping with honey. I know there was.
Well, I don't know the expression, right? But it was paved with gold. So
I don't see any gold on the floor.
I don't see any gold on the floor.
Me neither.
But think about it for a second. If I'm ignorant, I'm watching television, and I see these fancy cars. I see people have these nice homes, right? Because that's what the media is portraying. You think I don't want that for myself, especially if I'm living in poverty? I want that. So I'm going to try to find a way to get this land of milk and honey.
And that's what that gentleman did with the illegal 2 migrant shelter. He created his own. He created one in Bronx, one in Queens. And I hope people do not continue to do that, because guess what? Packing people as pack rats, not having the facilities, not being able to, really, it could be a super spreader, because if one person gets sick, yeah, it could become a super spreader. If one person gets sick, guess what? They start sharing that because it's not ventilated correctly. It wasn't set up for that. And now you have people walking around who might be sick. And you don't know. Thank God there was no fire.
That's what I'm saying to you earlier. What are the controls that are set in place for these migrants?
Let me tell you, they try to do as many things as possible. Now they're giving them credit card so that they can go and shop. But
no, it's not credit cards. No.
They're not giving them credit cards.
They're not giving credit cards for them to go and shop. They're giving.
Yes, they did give them credit cards to go and shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop! Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, so you tell me that
they give them a credit card of an allowance per month to do what they have to do. It's an allowance. Once it runs out per month, your allowance is to buy food.
Okay.
Provide transportation.
Exactly what I just said. A credit card to go and buy.
You're making it sound. Like
a regular credit card.
No. Don't stop there though. Don't stop at they give them a credit card to shop. They give them a credit card so that they can do what they need to do.
That's what I was saying.
No, when you say to somebody, I'm giving you a credit card to shop, that means that you could do frivolous work with
No. That's not what I was implying. That was not
that's exactly what you're saying.
No, that's not what I was
intimating that the credit card.
Food. I started with the food portion because that was the, hey, you know what? A lot of people are picky. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. So good.
Right. Now so you go out and purchase what you need.
You go get what you want.
Yes, but then say it like the right way. Don't say it like
I didn't say go. Hey, here's a credit card. Go shopping at Gucci or whatever. I didn't say.
Yo, Kevin, I full 100. What does Kevin comment here? Put back Kevin's comment. I didn't see any gold on the road, but I was looking. All right, laugh out loud. I found $10 my first day. 30 years later, I haven't found any more.
Oh,
right?
no.
And that's true. People learned and started thinking that they really had a land of milk and honey. The streets are paved with gold. There are people that generally would want to help, but we need a base based on the laws that are already operating that they did not in our favor. And that's what we're saying. What are these governing laws that you're going to set in place that would make me as a landlord, that would make you, Sonia, as a landlord, comfortable in having migrants at your home? There has to be something that's set up in place. There has to be something besides money. Because like Dr. Bryant is saying, she's trying to say, is her safety is first. So she's not even thinking about money.
Absolutely.
So what would make me safe?
Not having any stranger come into my house because I don't know who's who.
No, but it's not you. You don't want any strangers. Other people, like Sonia says, I know that I would like to help. But what does that help look like? Right? And that's it. Like I said, for me, I want to know that how long is that person staying at my house? How long you supporting that person? Right? Are you willing to say, hey, 10 years and a day, you're done. You got to get out. Are you going to help me to get that person out?
Man, listen, the the work to evict someone is not easy.
But it's not the work to evict someone, but it's what did you do to help me to ensure that this person no longer lives on my property? That's the important thing. Not all of a sudden you gave me what was that guy making $300 a day? So let's say you give me $300 a day. I have 8 people, so I had 16 people or whatever, right? So, well, not 16. Let's do 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8, right? Times 300. So 4 times 2 is 8 plus, blah, 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 600. So I can't do the math in my head right now, but I'm looking at $2,400, right? Or $2,800 a month, $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Right? Are you going to ask me to utilize all that $3,000 a month to get all of them out?
I wish that $3,000 a month would go towards congestion pricing.
Well,
and for them not to beg people for money, especially giving them short time. Yeah, so I wish that money went towards that.
You can't put the two of them together. They cannot be married.
Well,
because the migrants are here. So how are you going to marry migrants living and congestion pricing? You can't marry them. The migrants are still here. They're going to be on the street. So one of the problem is to get the migrants off the street. Migrants don't care about congestion pricing. They're not driving. So you have to find a place for them to stay. So how do you get them off the street, and what support are necessary? Exactly. I know somebody who, go back to why you go so fast through the comments? Who's doing the comments? I know someone, go back to that comment. Oh, here we go. I know someone right now who's over 2 years and they cannot get a $10 out of their property. Right? I don't know what that means, but I guess it means that the person
they rented out somebody for 2 years and they're not playing. Is that it? They're not playing.
I think that's what she meant to say. Okay. But that's part of the issue, right? That is part of
and now to fight to get somebody out is going to be another problem.
Hey, Zakira, how are you doing? Dr. Ali, bless up, right? And so we do have a real problem. I want to do something real fast. Andre, can you? I sent you those pictures. I would like to bring up acknowledge one of the board members. We lost a board member today, Pearlie. Not today. She passed away on February 17th. And her name is Pearline Fields, the woman in the black and white, right?
Oh, wow.
The woman in the black and white. She unfortunately
oh wow.
Right. So
illnesses to
we just heard Andre, can you take the emojis down? Right. Okay, so Pearline, the one in the middle. Just want to acknowledge to her family and her and everyone that she's going to be missed. She sat on the board. I appointed her to become the housing committee person for the last three cycles. Just found out today, I think the whole executive board and the community board is horrified to hear of her passing, and it's very sad. Joanne, you suffer from asthma, and so you could definitely empathize with her story, where Pearline lived in a 6-story walk-up and the elevator didn't work. And as EMS came to try to save her, to try to take her out, the elevator wasn't working, and unfortunately, she succumbed to her.
Oh wow!
As her blood pressure raised, and she couldn't make it. And one of the things is we have to take care of our building, that building owner really needed needs to be thought about for this poor young lady. I mean, this a beautiful young lady who worked very hard and very tirelessly in the community on housing, on block association, on issues, community issues, and to see her passing, so tragically. We
Yeah.
at Community Board 17, we at Community Board 17 are very distraught to hear about her, and we will recognize her some more at our next general board meeting. Her funeral will be
Wow.
coming up at the Carib Funeral Home, March 22nd, 2024 at 3 p.m. That's 1914 Utica Avenue, New York, Brooklyn, New York, 11234. That's so for those of you who don't know where that is, that's right at Utica, between Avenue L and Avenue K. So to the family of Pearline Fields, I would like to extend on behalf of Community Board 17. I would like to extend our sympathy to the family, and hope that tragedies like these don't happen anymore. Again, if you live in these kind of apartments, please make sure to take yourself, especially if you can't. Like for me, I'm worried about going up 6 steps. I'm sorry, I have 13 steps to go up, and I'm worried about it. So, and she lives in a 6-story walk up, and the ambulance couldn't get her out in time.
Wow.
Obviously, the number of violation for the elevator not to work, and we had no idea that this young lady was going to pass. And so,
of course, that's something that you have no control over.
Yeah.
No control over at all. You don't know. That's why each day is a gift.
Exactly.
Each day is a gift.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people pass away from all types of things. I lost an aunt from asthma attack. So I know how this is really, really devastating, because this could have been prevented.
Yeah.
Especially if
they needed an elevator.
Landlords and people were doing what they had to do,
Yep.
and building departments were actually doing checkups.
Right.
Many things could have been prevented, but unfortunately, it happened. Condolences from the Village family, from the people in the community, not only community board, but from the people that she contributed to and poured her time and energy. We extend our condolences to you and your family. Prayers will be up, but something needs to be done beyond that.
Yeah, I think that I think it was a private. 6 stories. I don't know what the privacy ownership is or not, but 6 stories is a lot of apartments. I've had asthma all my life, and the only good thing. Go back to the comment. Not that one.
Kevin.
Okay. Yeah, I've had asthma all my life, and the only good thing about this is that you get priority when you go to the hospital. Besides that, it is horrible. I agree with you, Kevin. I've had a few in my illness. I've had a few attacks, and to see the impact of it is
when you can't breathe. Yeah.
Stargirl, I see a message, condolences to her family and community board. The 17, really sad story. Absolutely, and so we really are. If anybody, again, you could want to show your support, go out to the funeral. The funeral will be, again, it will be March.
Let's share the information over and over again, so that people can go and support in the community. If you live in communities, you don't have to live in communities,
but you can understand the tragedy.
Yes, understand that.
Yeah, so that's March 22nd at 3 p.m. at Carib Funeral Home, 1914 Utica Avenue, between Avenue L and Avenue K, right? And there's a parking lot across the street, so there's a lot of parking for those individuals who would like to attend and show your love to the family of Pearline Fields. I
But you
also
know what, Roger? This also brings up the fact that, I know that a couple of weeks ago, the building people from the building department mentioned they didn't have enough people working. We need people on that job,
yeah,
going around and doing inspection. This is not that time to be cutting areas when it
right,
comes to building safety, construction safety,
absolutely,
elevator safety. So, who's responsible for making sure that these things are checked? These
absolutely,
things are, hey, you can have, I'm happy that the mayor did put things, because people had scaffolds for years and
Mhm.
years, never done anything, but it is time that they do pop-up visits to the different buildings that's
That
in
they're in charge of.
rent,
Absolutely.
that we're living in one of the most expensive city and state. So guess what? Surprise, surprise. As you increase, you need to take care of your property. As you
Right.
do, hey, you need to be held responsible.
I absolutely agree with that. Right. I absolutely, absolutely agree that that's a terrible, terrible thing, and that level of support
Yeah, the
needs to
city
be
got to
there.
step up.
Wait, Andre, are you ready for that very quick cue up? Let's do that real fast. Go ahead, play the song. We also lost.
Girl, do you know you are the world to me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't do it all. Caribbean queen of my life. No, Caribbean queen of my life. Oh, you're my sunshine every day. Light up my nights like times where I do say. Oh, you're my Caribbean queen. You're more like an eagle, flying high above the others. More like a wife, not just.
I was going to tell Andre to play another one that's a little bit more popular. People, I don't even know the song, and I know Morgan
That's
Heritage.
all right, Caribbean life.
Right.
That's it.
So the interesting lost Peter Morgan from Peter. Those of you the one with the white hair actually went to go see him at Wingate Park, I believe it was last summer. From the Morgan Heritage at 46 years old, he collapsed and he died. As far as I know, I don't, they hold it with, last I checked, they're withholding some information about how he died, but at 46 years old, Peter Morgan from Morgan Heritage has passed on. Daily, I think that many of the Caribbean people believe that America's streets were paved with gold. I believe in helping people. However, there must be a better way to solve the problem. These problems are on the streets and they're not monitored properly. These people are on the streets. I'm very sorry for the loss of the board member. I'm also asthmatic, and it is the worst feeling when they can't breathe. When you can't breathe, okay, put it up there. Good. Thank you for putting it up so I can see better. I totally agree with you that the landlord should be responsible for taking care of the property, not just the property. The landlord needs to take care of Pearline, right? The landlord needs to take care of Pearline and ensure that, whatever happens to a funeral, they need to take care of that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
As you rent out, as people rent out, make sure everything is safe, because these are people's life, a gift.
Absolutely.
Return.
Absolutely. I just want to say happy birthday to Peter Gay. Happy birthday to Empress Danielle, Empress Dan, whose birthday is coming up 3rd and 4th.
Happy
Right.
birthday.
Right. So I know you're going to celebrate. So happy birthday to the two of you. Hopefully I didn't forget any other birthday before I get to next week. I might have known my memory. It's tough and it's genuine, but happy birthday to both of you. hate to bring it with in between bad news, right? In between bad news, but we still have celebration of life. And thank you everyone for your support over this time frame. Looking forward to getting out of here. Hopefully, I'll be out by the end of next week. I'll be out of the hospital. Right. Augustus Savage birthday, Harlem Renaissance master sculptor. Thank you for that, and happy birthday as well to Augusta, and to everyone who I might have missed your birthday. To everyone who has come out, support, said hello, send emails, send everything else that they needed to send. I just want to say thank you so much, and all to the entire family here at Sloan Catering, who have been working hard, to my family that have been working on, my radio family, my Domino family. I know I'm forgetting someone. To my other family and friends who reach out, come visit, and everything else that is happening. I just want to say, and forgive me if I forget something. Please do not call me and yell at me because I forgot to mention you, because I get that sometimes. So everyone, I want to say thank you and have a great evening. We will see you next week, God's willing. God bless. And thank you for watching, participating in viewing, sharing, being part of the village. Please hit the subscribe button on YouTube, where we dedicate to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today, where success is not just spoken, it is done. God bless each and every one of you. On behalf of all of the people here at the village, Andre Doman, our executive producer, Sophia Willissey, our producer, Dr. Joanne Bryan, our co-hostess, and Dr. John L. Sampson. I'm Roderick Daly. God bless each and every one of you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Good night.
Good night.